choreographer for Kambule, and Dara is here to tell us about the Kambule Campus project and the film project they're currently working on in the midst of Carnival, Not So Carnival 2021. Good morning, Dara.
Good morning, Adina, and good morning to everybody. So I have to start by saying, from the day I hold me boy, me mama say I is a warrior. Uruwa, from the day I hold me boy, it's Kalinda time, it's Kambule time, and we want to say greetings and blessings to everyone, and thank you to everybody for all the support that you've been giving us so far.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dara. Thank you for blessing the space.
Yes, I should.
I think in the way that maybe you can aspire to after your mom, Entu. And good morning to Entu. I know hopefully she's out there listening at this time. And Entu, of course, is a playwright of Kambule. And Kambule, for many people, is this thing that happens behind the bridge every Carnival Friday morning. That's what we know. And over the years, and particularly I would say over the last 10 years, it has really exploded in terms of the audience, the interest, etc., the coverage of it as well. I remember when I started, you can find a seat anywhere, you know what I mean? Now you have to get there at 4 o'clock in the morning or earlier, but none of that this year. And it was in November last year that you all decided that we are going to do something about this. Tell us about that initiative.
Well, we recognize that Kambule is the one ritual space within the carnival still that acknowledges the contribution of, former African enslaved, that it roots the carnival in a lot of ways. And we realize that a lot of people depend on us to bring out this ritual reenactment, and so it took us a little minute trying to decide how we want to move forward, and eventually we said we need to continue to take the energy that we have in rehearsals that helps to propel us on the street in the morning to make this portrayal so captivating, and turn it into a series of workshops, interactions, engagements with our community that will allow people to continue to connect with us. We also initially said, well, we would use this as a jumping off point to create Kambule moments and so on. And that, in the true tradition of Ida Keda and Tudara and Attila, morphed into a film. And so we were like, but we need to do this. And, so it's scary, but it's exciting at the same time, because we've had a great deal of support with people coming forward. We have Maya Cozier, who is an award-winning film director. We also have University of Trinidad and Tobago, who is supporting us on the Kambule campus side. We have people who have come forward, like the Belmont Secondary School, to allow us to rehearse in. And what we are doing is we are capturing the story of Kambule. We are capturing the story of what happened in 1881. So it's all a matter of perspective. Either you think of it as a rabble who created confusion in 1881, or you say these are a group of people who had a sense of history and a sense of belonging and a sense of presence and a sense of a right to the carnival. Yes. The same carnival that we claim today.
Yes. Right? And on the morning, on Carnival Friday morning, typically what we get is a sense of what the environment is that gave rise to the riots and the confrontation between Captain Baker and normal people, average people in this country. We see the presence of the various carnival characters we associate, and particularly the Boer men. Yes, that was a big part of it. So how does the film differ? Does it give more context? Does it set the scene more for those riots?
Well, we set the scene in the play anyhow, but of course in a theatrical way. So people would quote back to us the dates that we give in the play. They will quote back to us.
Very interactive. Yes.
The information and so on. So what the film will do, it will give context in that we will have information about what took place in 1881, and we will have elements of portrayal from Kambule as well. So this version is a docudrama. we are aiming for the film, of course, but we're starting off in this particular direction first because we also see it as an opportunity to take the education process a little deeper as well.
Right. So it's a different energy, but it's still very intense, very, very intense. I'm telling you, all my pause raising now because we are capturing elements of the city of Port of Spain and of the atmosphere that would have been back in 1881.
Right.
So the transition is actually been pretty good. We've had some little adjusting to do, but for the most part, it's been pretty good.
And so the locations haven't been a challenge either, really. You've managed to sort of get that feel and that vibe of a couple of centuries ago.
Yeah, because I suppose the lack of development in parts of Port of Spain has worked to our benefit, so that we are able to access, some of the similar sites and locations and keep it authentic, to keep it authentic. So that has been really rewarding for us as well.
And how is N2 in all of this? How has she transitioned from the street theater?
Well, Miss N2 is taking directions from Miss Maya Kezier, and she's very gracious about it. And but she's still there in rehearsals, with her boa, and very important element of the process, because this is her vision. This has been her desire to pay respects to the people who gave us this carnival that we boast inspired 100 and plus carnivals all over the world, but yet we in Trinidad and Tobago have not claimed it. We don't tell the story. Anywhere else in the world, somebody was telling me they go to a tomato throwing thing in Venice or somewhere, 1 hour long, place booked out, police like rain, expensive for days, and for 1 hour, and they make a whole big thing about this. We don't make a fuss about the story.
Yeah, we do take a lot for granted.
We take a lot for granted, and we don't really give credence to what happened in 1881. We don't, as a nation.
And do you get the sense that the absence of, I want to say the distraction of the good times that the carnival presents for many, this is not, of course, to discount the value, especially the economic value that it has for so many people across the country. But in the absence of that, people really have a chance to look at other things and to find and seek out other things. Do you get a sense that that appetite is there now?
Absolutely. I got a call from someone. She said, how could we help? How we could help? We just want to be there. We want to do something. And and we have all in our team been getting calls like that. And it's very surprising to us because we didn't know that. We know that people come out every year, of course, in their thousands to see what we offer to them, but we didn't know really that it meant so much to such a wide cross-section of the society. So it's given us a lot of encouragement because this journey that we have been walking is a difficult one. It's a tough one, but that gives us the rewards. And people have been asking us about the teaching component of it and wanting to know when it's going to be available. So in a lot of ways, this difficult period, it has opened up a number of opportunities for us, and so we're grateful for that. Yeah.
And what happens with Kambule campus when February 16th is gone?
We're continuing.
Yes,
we're continuing because the campus is not just about Kambule and Carnival anymore. It's growing in terms of its relevance. It's growing in terms of building community. And, we've received comments. We get comments and people say, I'm learning so much. I'm in Canada and my son doesn't know too much about his heritage. And so, we're just asking for people to support us because we have a number of people who have been giving their support and equipment costs, and people come out for free, but we still try to give people something to eat, and so once people can support us, like, subscribe. We keep saying, even if you don't have any money to give, the building of community is important. So, help us to grow our social media and help us to be able to take the message even further, because that's what we really want to do, is to be able to inculcate in people a sense of pride, a sense of ownership of this, that it's not just about some stick fighters or some jammets or whatever. We have a right to claim this history. This is part of the history of Trinidad and Tobago. And I saw in Barbados, they're demanding carnival. And so if we continue to dismiss this as just a party and something that you have to go back to work after it is over, we continue to diminish and trivialize something that really comes from the core of our people. And it's not just about African people. We have all kinds of spiritual influences through the Black Indian, through the even the Hindu influence, the Sumari. So it is about Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, Kambule is a play that focuses on the resistance that happened in Port of Spain and then spread throughout the country. But Carnival is about Trinidad and Tobago.
And Dara, I really appreciated that so much more.
Yeah.
Having understood that in theory, I appreciated it so much more when I had the opportunity to go down south last week and speak with the second generation band leaders of the Jagasar band, Jagasar Costumes,
right,
and the Kalicharan band. And you talk to these young men, and you have a sense that this is something that is in them.
Right.
Whatever you think about what they do, however you value it or don't, because there's a sense that people in Port of Spain don't really appreciate what happens in other parts of the country.
Yes.
Carnival time, right?
Not true.
But the essence of Carnival that I was privy to that happened, that is also rooted in South Trinidad, was so real, and it was palpable in them and in their commitment to the work that they're doing even as they evolve, to meet markets, demands, etc. It was so clear to me that they understood the legacy that this was and the role that they play in their community, because again, it's family tradition, and as you said, there's also like a spiritual sense or rooting to a lot of this culture. And I'm just very intrigued to see what happens like going forward, even listening to the radio. This is the first Carnival, Dara, I have listened to the radio, like urban radio that is, and heard so much old music.
Yes.
Never before has that happened.
Yes.
Usually they just kill you with the music of this year.
Yes.
And I thought, wow, so you mean they're aware of archives?
Yes.
Like these live in radio stations?
Bomber. My goodness.
No, I've been so impressed. I mean, and the things that they pull out, and I just wonder, I want to talk to some radio DJs as well after this season, just to get a sense of, okay, so what is the way forward? Having experienced the opportunity of this year to dig into all of that and to share it with everybody, what happens next? And you all work so collaboratively. So, you all work with Boer Academy,
yes, we do,
and the other cultural stakeholders you're very involved with. And speak to the value of that, to the work and the importance of what you're doing.
Well, we grow because we work with community. We grow, and that is N2's legacy as well as my grandmother's legacy as well, Ida. And we understand that we are strong as the people around us. And so, for instance, Boa Academy gave an amazing program, supported us with an amazing program on Kambule campus last Saturday, talking about the origins of Boa, talking about the meanings of the words, singing, chanting. And that could only accentuate what we do. We work with people like the Belmont Freetown Performing Company. We still have members and that's like years and years ago, and we still have people who perform with us. We have people from the University of the West Indies, the Creative Arts division, where they have students who come, well, before COVID-19, of course, who used to come to learn and share with us. We have dancers who just come. We have theater practitioners. So people, I mean, many years we would be on the road and we would see some of the major stick fighters just appear on the street, and we were like, okay, but they don't know the lines, they don't know what the next move, but all right, okay, so but that is, people claim the Kambule,
of course,
and people claim what we do, so it's a really nice, and we have people who just come off the street too and who say, and my daughter need to be in this, or they will have parents who will say, I don't know what to do with them, so and so it's very community in that sense that it's more than about theater, it's about building character, and it's about building an energy within that extended group of people who support each other.
Absolutely.
And so that's what keeps us going, and that's what strengthens us too. Yeah, and that's the process we've been seeing on this film as well.
So Dara, unfortunately we have just 3 minutes left, and so I do want you to remind our listeners of where they can follow you and support you.
Yes, I appreciate that. Okay, so we want to ask people to like us on Facebook, Kambule Movement, subscribe to us on YouTube, Kambule Movement, and also follow us on Instagram, Kambule 1881, and our website is www.idacadagroup.com, and you can donate there, and we have a Fund Me TNT campaign as well, Kambule Resistance in the Carnival, and we're just grateful for whatever support. We want to thank the people who have come forward to support us. Am I allowed to
Of course. Yeah.
Okay, so we want to say Digicel has supported us to an extent. The University of Trinidad and Tobago, Wajan Discotheque, Belmont School. We have people like Chimook and so have supported us on the film process, because film crew always hungry. I can't list out everybody, of course, but we just want to say thank you to everyone, and we really, really appreciate it, because it's the only way that we actually going to be able to get to have our dreams come to reality.
Fantastic.
So I want to thank people like you as well.
Of course,
for
Dara.
giving us the opportunity.
And we really appreciate the work that you're doing, and we look forward to the final production, its release.
Fantastic. It's fantastic.
Yes, before Carnival is over, we are told. So we look forward to that.